Alrighty guys, so we are here making our way to the first hard off of the day, straight out of the station. It is pretty nice. Not gonna be able to catch a bus on time. Let's go ahead and make our way there. Alrighty guys, here at our first stop of the day, hard off, book off, combo store. Don't really know what to expect, but let's go ahead and get inside of here. Make it quick so we can get back.
Located about 2.5 hours outside of downtown Tokyo, you will be greeted with the prefecture of Tochigi. Here you will find the Hard Off Sano store. Due to the proximity of this store to downtown Tokyo, I feel like it's not as frequently shopped by many tourists, so there tend to be a couple good deals and hidden gems to be found. Now I am in a bit of a rush because my train leaves in 2 hours, so we gotta make our way through this store pretty quickly. It was a 30-minute walk here, 30-minute walk back. That gives us about an hour to shop. When you first walk into this store, you gotta go straight past the book off to get to the electronics. Once you get to the electronics, you're greeted with Apple products, cameras, guitars, and music accessories before you make it over to the video games, consoles, and collectibles. Today, that's why we're here. So let's go ahead and dive straight into the first main showcase just to see what they have. It looks like it's loaded up with different special edition controllers, and right behind that we have some of the special edition consoles to match. We even have some boxed accessories on the top shelf, not to mention a plentiful amount of different accessories down below. I love seeing these pull-out bins because you can tend to find some good deals in these. Anything from an AC adapter to the Luigi Mario Kart wheel you can see right there, you'll find in here for just about 500 or less yen. Right now I am looking for Nintendo 64 cartridges, and I'm not seeing any of those in this specific aisle, but I did find that special edition game for PlayStation. It looked to be complete in box with the collectible figurine. Got a few Nintendo 64 titles here, but it mainly looks like GameCube. That means they gotta be hiding the 64 cartridges somewhere else, so let's go find them. Little did I know, there is a lot more to this store to be seen. This store, when you first walk up on it, it doesn't look like the biggest branch, but in actuality when you get inside, the book off and the hard off are completely separated, and these showcases are pretty loaded, mainly with a bunch of Nintendo software. I guess a bunch of people are getting rid of their Switch, but you do have some extra controllers and some Game Boy Advance models inside, not to mention a ton of different Famicom cartridges hanging right here beside on the wall. Once again though, there was only a few Nintendo 64 games. I mean, there was just 5 of them up there at the top. Where are they hiding the rest of the 64 stuff? I see a couple Switch cartridges in there. I don't see any software older than a Game Boy Advance. I see a complete section for Nintendo Wii cartridges, but I'm still not seeing anything that I'm looking for. They do have a bunch of Nintendo DS games, but right off the bat, I'm particularly not seeing any Pokemon games. Nothing for the Nintendo DS or the 3DS can I pick out off the top of my head, but they still did have a couple of cool titles in here, so I took a minute just to show all the spine cards. Hopefully you can make out a few of the different titles, but like I said, nothing I was looking for on those. So let's go ahead and head on to the next section of the store just to go ahead and keep this walkthrough moving, because like I said guys, we don't have too much time today. We gotta keep it pushing. Our next turn takes us straight to the junk section, and the junk section on these stores tend to be my favorite area. That's where you can find the best deals. Sometimes these products that are in the junk section marked as non-functioning are completely functioning. And check it out, this junk section showcase is loaded with different consoles. We got PSPs, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Pocket. We got some Apple devices down below here in the junk bin. So many different cellular devices. That's why I say guys, if you need a phone when you come to Japan, if yours is carrier locked, go ahead and come to a hard off store and get one here. You might even find one in the junk section for less than 50 bucks. Personally, I'm a big fan of the product red Apple products, and they do have a product red iPhone right here in the junk showcase, but we didn't come to shop for iPhones today. Today we are looking for 64 cartridges, and there was only one in this showcase, so we gotta keep searching until we find the rest of them. At this point, we definitely gotta be getting close because there's literally not that much more of this store to explore before we've seen it all. Right past the camera showcase, I start to see what I want to see. We got bins and bins of junk accessories, controllers, games, manuals, and more. Let me go ahead and take a brief look at these guys just to show you what they got, and then I gotta search through to see if I can't find some games to buy. I'm super excited to see what the game section looks like. I can definitely see him up ahead. I can't wait any longer, so let's go straight over there. You can see right in the front Mario Kart and Kirby. Donkey Kong was 330 yen. A lot of those games were priced even lower, some as high as 550, but none more than that. And they also had some Game Boy games, a bunch of different accessories. They didn't have any Game Boy Advance games in these for some reason. Either way, they just didn't have any in the junk section. They did have a bunch of UMDs though, and they had this whole bin of loose manuals. Mini collectors such as myself definitely appreciates this because it gives you a chance to go ahead and make a loose game into a complete in box game, especially if you can find the loose box too. The search for the 64 games paid off. As soon as I'm done recording this video, I'm gonna get back in there and see what I can find to buy. But for now, we got more to see, so let's go ahead and see what else we can find here in the junk bins. You really never know what you're gonna find when you're going through these bins. You can see the first couple ones that I opened, they had some completely random accessories for consoles. Here we have some chargers, and I do need one for my Game Boy Advance. So for just under $4, you know I'm gonna go ahead and have to pick that one up. In the rest of this drawer, I didn't see anything or any cheaper prices on one. I did see the cheaper prices for the DS ones, but I did want it to match my SP console, so I got the ones that were specifically made for the Game Boy Advance SP. As I'm sitting here and editing this video, I'm really wishing I was there right now because I recently picked up a Super Nintendo. I also got a GameCube. I also got a Wii U, and I need the cords for all of those. I'm literally seeing all the cords that I need in this video right now, so maybe I'll have to go back and pay this hard off a visit, that way I can pick them up. They have a really good controller selection here in this junk section. Just check it out. Not only do they have some interesting Hori off-branded pads, but they did have a bunch of factory stuff too, like some Wii U controllers, some Nintendo 64 stuff. I have no idea what that black controller was, but they definitely had some unique ones. The end cap of this junk aisle was completely decked out with consoles from head to toe, like Wii U's, GameCubes, even a PS1, Dreamcast. The top had complete in box stuff, and the bottom right corner had a complete pile of Nintendo DS's. Anything from the original model to the DS Lite, and even a few DSi's they had in there for a pretty good price. But the one I just turned on unfortunately had a line in the screen, so we're gonna have to pass on this one. No DS for me today. Hey, at least I got that Game Boy SP charger that I needed. That'll get me to charge my SP before I make it back home tonight. That's about it for the walkthrough of this store though. Let me go ahead and finish up, make my purchases, and I'll tell you what I got.
Some decent stuff in there. A couple copies of Kirby, Mario Kart 64. We also got 2 F1 games that I don't have.
And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video there. Thank you guys so much for watching another one of my hard off walkthroughs. Until next time, I'll be out this thing. Peace.